a hug. Give me a hug. Good seeing you again. Yeah, I'm coming back tomorrow, though, so, you know.
Tonight, on a very dark edition of The Screensavers, Kevin and Dan will expose which Hollywood celebrities have open Wi-Fi networks, and we'll explore IRC chat rooms, a tool for good, a tool for evil. Plus, a countdown of the top 5 darkest moment in tech history. Live from the Tech TV studios in San Francisco, it's the dark side of tech on The Screensavers.
Screensavers. I'm Patrick Norton.
And I'm Kevin Rose. Thanks for joining us. This is our Dark Side of Tech special.
Tonight we take you through a guided tour on the seamy underbelly of technology. Kevin Mitnick's joining us. Joshua is going to show us the dark world of IRC. And
I did a little war driving down in LA to see if any stars had open wireless networks.
Or open wireless cameras.
That's right. We found some too.
Full frontal. Actually, we're still taking calls in the show, right?
Full frontal calls.
Anyway, give us a call. Give us a call. The phone number is 888-989-7879. And you can also email us at thescreensavers@techtv.com. And don't forget, if we take you as a neck cam, you get a free T-shirt.
Woo!
Back to you guys.
All right.
Great T-shirts.
Like to begin by taking a look at the tech news that caught our eye today. Sarah has the dark stories for the day.
I do. Start off with number 1. It's time for another Microsoft security patch. This one plugs 20 different security holds, many of them classified as critical. Here's a helpful tip from me to you. Update, update, update. So easy, and you too can do it.
We need some kind of like little pop-up or something, like just in the corner of the screen every time there's like a security update, just to let our users know it's time to do the update. We've been talking about this for every couple weeks. Every couple weeks we have to revisit this.
I picked up a new notebook like 4 days ago, logged on, fired it up for the first time on the network. Immediately, this is straight from Dell, 34 updates. Can we at least get, the new systems to be updated to the...
We're waiting on Service Pack 2. That's what I'm waiting for. That's up and coming. Hopefully.
Yeah, but you know
soon.
what? There's been how many updates since Service Pack 1? There's going to be how many updates after Service Pack 2? And I just like the holes not to be there in the first place.
That would be nice.
One of the dark sides of technology. I mean, we've had systems wiped, we've had viruses, we've had worms. We could go on for hours.
Yes, we could, but we won't.
Let's not. Moving on, a New York-based company, now listen closely, a New York-based company that creates pop-up ads is in court to overturn a Utah law that bans certain kinds of pop-ups. Utah's Spyware Control Act prohibits spyware from delivering pop-up ads and requires spyware to provide removal procedures. And they're trying to get around that.
Possibly my new favorite game. I saw on Unscrewed. I was at an Unscrewed taping because it's done here. They have a game to where you have to try and close as many pop-ups as you can and you get more points for doing it. I love it. It's an awesome game. They shouldn't ban pop-ups or make pop-ups against the law.
What are you, practicing to surf prawn sites with that?
No, I mean, it's fun. I don't think they should make pop-ups against the law. I mean, it's just a piece of JavaScript that, in most cases, that just pops up a window with an advertisement.
Well,
if you don't like it, it's a pop-up killer.
It's not just pop-ups, and it's also pop-ups, it's also spyware, and it's why shouldn't we, at some point it's like, if we make it illegal, then we can fight it, and they can be hit with $10,000 per violation. I mean, some companies are not scrupulous and are pretty nasty in what they do to your system.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't we have legal tools to fight that?
Well,
either that or we can all go to the places where they... Well, no, we can't do that because that would be vigilantism, and that's illegal, too.
I just say go after the companies. It's not the pop-up's fault.
How do you go after the companies if you don't have laws against what the company does that you consider wrong?
Well, what's wrong with a pop-up, though? A pop-up is just a window. What does it matter? I mean, my banking use pop-ups. When I log into my banking account, I get a little pop-up window.
The flip side is like if you use Mozilla, you turn off pop-ups, you never have to see them again.
That's true.
However,
that's why we both love Mozilla.
The law also fights against spyware and malware, and it'd be nice
spyware
to have
is bad.
To use against that.
I agree with you there. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Keep shirt.
Yeah, if you spent money on a video card recently, you might be kicking yourself because NVIDIA just had a big announcement.
Yeah, that's right. Another dark side of tech is your hardware becoming worth nothing weeks after you buy it. NVIDIA just unleashed the GeForce 6800 Ultra graphics card. Robert Heron from Tech TV Labs has been pounding on it for a few days. Robert, as NVIDIA have the chance to beat ATI again?
It is a hot rod card, and until we see ATI's next product, this is the king of the mountain right now.
Well, it's a king of the mountain, but can I buy one?
No, can't buy one yet. Won't be available until May of this year, of course.
Look at that case. That case is, you got to show everyone that case. Look at the front of that nice little NVIDIA
And
logo on there.
delivered for the new product line, you get the, of course, custom case.
Yeah. You're not going to get that when you pay $500 for the card. You get that when you're sent the card to review, right?
I think so. Well, hey, enough of that. Let's just jump right into it.
Look at that
we
beast.
did. There's
It's
the
pretty
beast
bad.
itself. I'll try to put that somewhere it's not shining
So
too brightly.
it requires two Molex connectors.
Look at that.
Those
Two
two
power
on the other
connectors.
side there, you saw? Two power connectors. It is a beastly card. It requires that juice. It requires 12 amps on the volt, or 12 volts on the side there. So they're basically putting two on there, so you end up having plenty of power all the time. They actually suggest not splitting a rail, so you can't take one connector and split it into two for that one connection.
So we're talking like 100 watts it's pulling?
That's a good question. How many watts exactly? But on the other hand, we were able to hook it up with a 420 watt power supply. They recommend a 480. We didn't have a single issue with it. And I have a feeling, unless you're really overtaxing the power supply, you're going to be able to run this card with even a split connection. I don't think you're going to have too many
It
problems.
weighs about 5 pounds, does it not?
No, actually, they've completely redesigned the cooling system.
Oh, they have? Okay.
Just about everything. The last one for, I believe, the 5800 was a steel design, and that was kind of heavy. And this one's completely aluminum, and that really decreased the weight
nice.
of it. There was usually almost a risk of the card bending within the AGP slot if it's mounted vertically like that. So this time around, it is a lighter design. Right off the bat, I got to tell you, it has arguably some of the fastest memory I've ever seen. It's using DDR3 technology, running at a brisk 550 megahertz. And in DDR terms, that'd be about 1100 megahertz effective.
That's fast.
Very, very quick. Massive memory bandwidth, 16 pixel pipelines, and basically what that means is it can do more work simultaneously than practically any other card that we're aware of right now.
How do the before and after shots you've got from Far Cry?
Some of the other technologies, too, they're incorporating will be things, namely some of the new specifications for DirectX 9 that's coming up. Something called Shader Model 3 that you'll hear more and more about with today's games. Let me back up one image there. If this were Far Cry today, and take this with a grain of salt, this was actually shown last night at the launch event party. If we go ahead and apply a Shader Model 3, which the programmer of Far Cry actually did this himself, you get better quality for hopefully little or no cost in performance.
Can we expect that can we expect the ATI to follow with the same sort of support on their next card?
That's an unknown at this point, and I'll be meeting with them next week actually to talk about the new product, and I'll find out more then. I'll let you know as soon as possible, of course.
Unreal Tournament 2000.
Yeah, got to show you a couple benchmark numbers for this beautiful, beastly card. Here we have Unreal Tournament 2003 at 16 by 12, and when you crank it up that far, it's not a leap and bound over the current Radeon 9800 XT. However, it's almost twice as fast as the previous GeForce card, which is really a solid jump considering where it was not too long ago.
Very cool.
For the other part,
Far Cry?
Yeah. Probably my favorite game right now is Far Cry, and for the effects it offers, for the environment itself, for the weapons, for the beauty of the environment, it is a video card hungry game. It also sucks up your CPU power like I've never seen.
I was going to say, I like Far Cry 2, and one of the things they mentioned last night when we were at the launch party is that they're coming in with some type of plug-in or something like that to take advantage of the new engine? Or
That was the Shader Model 3. The patch
Okay.
that just came out added the hooks for it, but it isn't enabled yet within the game, and that'll be the next patch that comes out.
I see.
And when that happens, you'll see even better quality than you're getting right now on their hardware. I'm curious, though, about the water in that picture, but that's something else I'll get into later. It was a little issue there. But anyway, 12 by 9, everything cranked up, over twice the performance of any card out there right now.
Wow.
What about
That-
1600 by 1200?
16 by 12, that actually gets it down to... Actually, that's a good question. What was it? Oh, it hits about 75, so that was
Okay.
pretty
What about 640 by
darn
480?
good. I don't play it 640. And nor should you with a card like this.
So this isn't shipping until the end of the May. You're
Not till the
meeting
end
with
of
ATI next week, who's going to be pushing pretty hard.
Definitely. And we also haven't seen a WICL certified driver yet, which is something. It's a brand new card. We have a driver supplied by the company. We've benchmarked it with what we're given. Right. And until we can do better image quality analysis, there's some great new tools coming out that I had a chance to discuss with people like FutureMark and other companies. as well as some of the newer games. Everyone's still waiting for Half-Life 2 and Doom 3 and games like that. And until we have those in our hands and we can really put them to test against an appropriate card from their competitors, we're still kind of waiting and seeing.
Cool.
Thanks for the heads up, Robert.
Sure thing.
Good
Launch
stuff.
party was a lot of fun last night.
The NVIDIA launch party?
Yes, that was cool. A lot of fun.
You were hurting this morning. So, hey, you know what? Great new card from NVIDIA, not going to ship till the end of May. And we highly recommend you wait until we see numbers from ATI and we see hardware certified numbers. So basically, they're shipping drivers. That'll be good stuff to see. So there's going to be a full review up on the site of that preview card now. More to come as soon as we get it later on this month.
Looks
and
pretty
later on in
impressive.
May. Good stuff. Steve joins us on the phone from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Man. How you doing?
All right. Yeah, I had a question.
Uh-huh.
Before I go and waste some money here, found this program downloadable for $40. It's called DVD Instaclone.
Ooh.
Okay, and I had concerns about like copyright and stuff like that, infringements and stuff, because it says it can copy video games as well, like PlayStation games and computer games, and the only thing they didn't show was an Xbox.
Where'd you find this thing?
Actually, it was a pop-up.
Okay, first of all,
Right.
don't buy stuff from pop-up ads. Don't buy stuff from spam. That only encourages them. All right, that's one.
What's wrong with pop-ups? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there we go
Not
again.
getting back that again.
Two, why would you pay $40 for a piece of software when Kevin's shown you 4 different ways to do it for free, Steve?
It's true, Steve. I have.
Why?
I'll have you.
Yes!
Have you been watching the show, Steve?
Steve, we need
not
you
lately.
in here all day, every day.
Watch every night.
Please.
Yes.
We're saving you money here. Now, that said, first of all, like, seriously, is this a legitimate program? Probably. The thing is why would you spend good money for something you could do for absolutely nothing using open source or freeware applications? Kevin's giving you instructions for that. Two, the other thing that's interesting is they're like, we're completely legal. Or, where's it? Let's see if I can find it. It's like, there's a great quote on there. Let's see, where is it? DVD Instaclone, PC Locker, somewhere. One of the things that says like easily copy DVDs, no overprice. Okay, so I can't see it. Someone was saying it was like a completely legal. Our products are created for non-experts, simple, step by step. I could have sworn somewhere it said that there was no legal issues using their software. The truth is there's legal issues with using anybody's software.
And also to let you
Copy.
know, to let you know, Steve, if you back up a PlayStation game, you're still not going to be able to play it unless you have a modded PlayStation. There's so many applications I see out there that are trying to,
Right.
back up your games. Yeah, you can back them up, but you can't play them unless you can solder 30 different points on the
Right.
PlayStation and add a mod chip. But so don't buy into that hype either.
Seriously, do us a favor. Read the dark tips. Learn how to do this for free. If you don't like that or it seems too complex, yes, or DVD X copy. And I gotta be saying, there's some 321 Studios I'd say you should be supporting because they're doing the legal battles to try to make it legal and get you fair use to actually back the stuff up. So that's a good reason to back those people up. But yeah, it's like don't support pop-ups.
Poor Steve, he's probably crying right now.
Don't cry, Steve. We got great ways to back this stuff up for nothing. And we're just getting started. Sarah's got the 5 darkest moments in geek history. And 1 in 6 internet users. What's happening with them, Kevin?
Yeah, 1 in 6 internet users is using Wi-Fi. So that got us thinking, how many stars use Wi-Fi and which ones have them encrypted or not? So I went down to the star's house to check it out. And that's it. Like we were telling you before the break, 1 in 6 internet users is using Wi-Fi, so it got us thinking, got us wondering, what if the stars have Wi-Fi? So we took a trip down to LA to check it out. Let's take a look. We're in LA, we got our laptops, we're doing a little war driving, looking for open wireless access points, and also a little war spying, looking for video access points, like video cameras.
Right, which is a way just to capture what's going on in video camera over 2.4 gigahertz range. isn't it?
Exactly. We're going to use the receiver and get any type of information, let the stars know about it, notify them, and lock them down.
Cool. We got the gear. We got everything we need. Let's go do it.
Let's get started. We're starting off with our Ford Excursion. We got to have that. Aside from that, we have an X10 video receiver. This one's been modified a little bit with an external antenna that will be hooked up to this Buffalo Air Station. Let's get inside and let's do it. And now all we have to do is get ourselves a star map. Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Do you happen to know if any of them have open Wi-Fi access ports?
I'm sure many of them do.
All right, sounds good. Here's your $5.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you. You ready? We got our map. We found our first destination, which is going to be Nicolas Cage's house. Now, even though we're not there yet, we've found an insane amount of wireless access points. There's probably about 50 here. We're in front of Nicolas Cage's house right now, and we're going to walk around the perimeter and see if we can find any wireless access points. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So we've walked around the house, and we've yet to find anything. Did you find anything on yours at all?
No, let's go to the top of the car.
Yeah, let's go to the top of the car and see if we can get a little better signal.
Oh, careful, dude.
Okay, I can see inside his house now. Yeah, I'm not getting anything either.
Can we get any closer? Probably not, huh?
No, not without breaking the law, so...
Darn.
This is as good as it gets. Let's try someone else.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're cruising around here, and we have found a few different unencrypted Linksys access points here.
Yeah, we saw one that said Bet White, didn't we?
Yeah, Betty. It looks like it could be Betty White's access point from the Golden Girls.
Apparently from her map, she lives around this area. What can you do once you get in?
If someone malicious were to connect to this network, they could go in there and change all the settings, possibly get that password that they have. They could even use that exploit that I was showing you to gain complete access to the router and put Linux on there and then go hacking from within the internal network.
It's finicky. Definitely gone. So it's in this general area over here. So it's definitely right around here.
Okay, we're looking for Spielberg's now. He's at 1515.
1515. Oh, I think we passed it.
Did we? All right, let's go back and grab it. Okay, I think Spielberg is... I don't see any access points. I would have thought if anybody would have had something, it would have been Spielberg. Don't stand on the driveway. I do, however, see a hidden cam up in the corner there. Yeah, it's following us right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, take a look. Every time we walk any which way, watch, when we walk over this way, the cam will follow us.
Interesting.
Hi, can I help you?
How you doing?
Good, how about you?
Good. We're just looking for wireless access points in the area and notifying the homes that have them open.
Off the sidewalk.
Yeah, we're just walking around looking for wireless access points.
Well, just keep walking around, please. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Thank you. I see someone in their backyard. Is that Tom Cruise? Well, I see one access point. It's called Decor.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else.
Yeah, I don't think that this is his, though, because we're not getting any signal strength. So most likely, Bill Cosby does not have any open access here at his house, or even wireless access here at his house that we can see. Go, 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 go.
Approaching John Goodman's now.
This is John Goodman's house right here.
Yeah. What is this?
That's it. I see one Linksys, and we're talking very low signal strength, 1 megabit.
Yeah, this may be John Goodman's. Now let's see if I can hop on. Okay, I'm on. I'm gonna check my mail.
No, do not check your mail right now.
No, why wouldn't I want to check my mail on someone else's network?
Well, the second you check your mail on their network, if they're running anything like any type of intrusion detection system or any type of monitoring like Kismet or anything like that, your unencrypted traffic is going to go over their pipe. Let's go knock on his door and see what he says.
Let's see if he'll even talk to us. Hello, is anybody there?
Hello? Well, the signal strength is getting stronger.
It is.
So it's definitely coming from within the house. John Goodman has an open wireless access point.
Shame, 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 John Goodman.
I'm not getting anything out of here.
Neither am I.
All right, let's get out of here. So that was a lot of fun. Spent the entire day war driving, a little bit of war spying.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing about the whole entire day was that there's so many open access points.
I know, but dude, you gotta learn when not to jump a fence.
We got the shot.
Now, we want to let you know that we did notify John Goodman about his open network, but we didn't hear back. He's probably already encrypted his network by now,
Yeah,
what I'm thinking. But my favorite part of the trip is when we discovered that Charles Bronson had an open Wi-Fi access port.
He did, but actually what we found out, he's dead.
Yeah, he passed away about a year ago, so that's too bad. We actually were really excited, and then we called our producer, and we're like, no.
Do you know who Charles Bronson is? Because I don't.
Yes, I do.
I don't know who he is.
We should take a tip from Sarah, and we should read him a little more Us Weekly. That'd probably help us out a lot.
Yeah.
Let's have time for a little tip with Sarah right now.
Us Weekly and the Inquirer, it's all you need. Daily news. Okay, moving on. Your first line of defense against people like that is a firewall. And at the very least, use the one that Windows XP has built right into your operating system. To enable it, in your control panel, open up Network Connections, then click on your network, right-click on your network and choose Properties. Once that opens, click the Advanced tab, and at this point, you have the option to enable your own internet connection firewall. It's a good idea. It's at least some place to start. Now, still to come, we hear from reformed hacker Kevin Mitnick. And up next, what's your darkest moment in technology history? That was Foos. Oh, it was sad. The Screensavers have their picks, and we'll count them down when the Screensavers continue.
Register for this week's Screensavers LAN party.
Powered by NVIDIA.
We're moving from one theater of war to the next. This week we're playing America's Army Special Forces Sandstorm. It was developed in conjunction with the United States Army. This game may be as close as you can get to the real action without leaving your couch.
And to top it off, not only are we fragging in the LAN party, but we're also customizing and giving away our LAN party machines. First, if you want to win a great machine, register for our LAN party and you're automatically entered in the giveaway. Then be sure to watch the show for the secret code word. During the LAN party on Thursday, we give away the secret code word. You enter that code word on our website to increase your odds of winning.
We'll be giving away one machine per week for the next 2 weeks, and you can enter both weeks. So go to thescreensavers.com and click on Join Our LAN Party to register. Plus, you can download the full version of America's Army absolutely free. Absolutely free. And we'll see you this Thursday for the Screensavers LAN Party. Woohoo! Now it's time for Sarah and some very, very dark thoughts.
That's right. A lot has contributed to the dark, fascinating technological world that we live in today, but a few events have stood out a little bit more than the rest. They've shaped what we know now as the dark side, where thieves call the shots, paranoia runs rampant, and danger lurks around every corner. Let's begin the chronological countdown of the Screensavers' top 5 dark moments in technology history. Number 5, the first spam message is sent. Ooh. In March 1994, the law firm of Cantor & Siegel advertised its U.S. green card lottery services on Usenet news groups. Now, at the time, users denounced the firm's tactics. They hated it. In the name of proper netiquette, do not do this. But of course, other advertisers quickly followed suit, and the horror of spam was born. Today, we can thank Cantor & Siegel from the bottom of our blackened little hearts. Number 4. Kevin Mitnick goes behind bars. February 1995, arguably the world's most notorious hacker, Kevin Mitnick spent major time downloading, copying, finding vulnerabilities in source code. He entered systems and erased his tracks, all, as he explains, for the thrill of it. But eventually, the feds closed in and made an example of Kevin Mitnick. He spent 4 years, 11 months, and 6 days in prison. 4.5 of those years were without trial. Bad news. Number 3, the DMCA passes. October 28, 1998. Much to the chagrin of music swappers and CD burning enthusiasts, President Bill Clinton signed the Digital Millennium Copyright Act into law. Since that day, the Screensavers have explored the legality of making archival backups of CDs, DVDs, video games, and software titles as hackers and crackers come up with new and unusual ways to evade copy protection. By the way, the entire U.S. Copyright Office summary of the DMCA is available in my article. It's a real page-turner. Number 2, Napster goes live. Woo! Yes. In June 1999, college students Sean Fanning and Sean Parker created Napster, a peer-to-peer file-sharing application. Everybody knew it. Everybody loved it. The interface was easy to use, and everybody jumped on the bandwagon. Before long, the RIAA filed its first lawsuit against Napster in November 1999. Of course, only furthering the application's visibility and appeal, especially in colleges. Napster clones were born, and the rest is legal history. Now, Are you guys ready for the #1 dark moment in technology history?
Yeah.
Number 1, Windows ME is released. On September 14th, 2000, Windows Millennium Edition shipped to consumers. The Windows 98 upgrade was designed for home users, and though it left out many business features, the only real new feature that Windows 98 users couldn't already download for free was ME's System Restore feature. It was awful. TechTV found the upgrade stupid and unnecessary then, and we still do today. That, my friends, is the Screensaver's top 5 dark moments in tech history. It's a cold, hard world we live in. Woo! Go to thescreensavers.com and check out our dark moments timeline. Then go debate them on the message boards, because I know you already disagree with my choices. No, don't go anywhere. Find out just how dark IRC communication and file sharing is. And after the break, he made our top 5 list. Now Kevin Mitnick's going to join us to talk about hacker prosecution and why maybe even you should worry when the Screensavers continues.
To our Dark Side of Tech special here on the Screensavers. I'm Kevin Rose. Still a lot more to come in this half hour. Joshua will join us for a look at the dark world of IRC Internet Relay Chat. And our next caller heard reports that a computer repair shop is informing the FBI about his MP3 collection. We'll tell you what's up with that. But now there is no way we could have put together a show about the dark side of tech without talking about one of its most notorious characters. If you know about hacking, you know about the reformed hacker Kevin Mitnick, who joins us now via satellite from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. How are you doing?
Good, man. Long time no talk.
I can't believe you're having me on a dark side show.
I know.
I can't get rid of this the stigma attached to it.
Who would have thunk it? Now, you're not really sitting behind the strip. Tell me that's fake behind you. I grew up in Las Vegas. That has to be fake.
That's a fake. That's a backdrop here.
Okay. So I got to ask you, there's been a lot of press lately about Mr. Adrian Lamo, a friend of yours.
Yes.
Tell me, what's different nowadays between the days of hacking with Kevin Mitnick and now the days of Adrian Lamo?
Well, there's two dynamics here. That I started back in the 70s, back with telephones and the ARPANET, and back then a lot of systems weren't secure. They were a lot more open, so it made it easier. But at the same time, there weren't any tools available. We had to actually do a lot of stuff by hand, write our own scripts. And in today's world, anybody can go to Security Focus or Packet Storm Security. They could download tools that weren't available before. And so hacking today is easier in that respect. But then on one respect, it's a little bit more difficult because people are shoring up their defenses because of all the media blitz about hacking and cracking events.
Right. So now tell me, hacking has changed quite a bit, like you said, and now there's all these tools available. Do you think that the Justice Department understands these tools? Are they treating hackers differently than they did when it was your day when you got caught? Because you were held without trial because they thought you could launch nuclear weapons by whistling tones.
I could still whistle the launch codes. Don't you know that?
Yeah. Let's see.
Right. No, I mean, I think the Justice Department was really fully aware of the threat even back during my prosecution. But it's really, think about the agenda of prosecutors. And, their agenda is to advance in their career. So if there's something that's really not well known, they can sensationalize it, get a lot of press, get a lot of kudos from, main justice and move up, the career ladder. But I do think that back then, law enforcement wasn't really up to speed.
Right.
And I think today they're somewhat better. They're hiring a lot of people out of the private sector to assist, like in computer forensics. So I think they're becoming more intelligent than in the past. But I don't think that back then they were really that naive either.
See, I was going to say that, like you said, you didn't use any tools to do a lot of the stuff, and a lot of it was done by hand. There weren't really any laws back then that said you can't do this, but you can do this. It seems there's a lot more of that nowadays. When do we cross the line? When is looking around and poking around like Adrian Lamo did actually a crime?
Well, when I passed the bar, I can tell you that one. But but I mean, think about today. Think about your average user watching the show. They go to some website. They poke around and they actually stumble across that they could read something that they shouldn't be able to read. Did they break the law? Well, I don't know. I think there's a thing called mens rea, which you have to have intent to conduct some unauthorized access. But people, could really easily fall into violating the law. And I think the laws today are much more stringent than they were back 20 years ago. I mean, I think they passed a new law that hackers can get life in prison if they use a computer as a tool to injure somebody seriously or cause a death of another. But if you use an ice pick, a hammer, a gun, it's a lot different. So if the computer is the tool, it's considered that the person is much more culpable that's using it.
Yeah, I was going to say, now, when do you've been doing a lot of research lately as far as, what hackers do and how to protect ourselves. I know I was talking to you on the phone a while back about you were doing a firewall test. What can home users do to keep from getting hacked? Do you think the threat is really there, that an average home user is going to have their computer compromised?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the average person thinks, I have nothing to hide. Why would anybody attack me?
Right.
Nobody knows me. I don't have any enemies. But you'll be attacked. Your systems will be attacked. So so hackers could store stolen files on your system, or they could use your computer to break into somebody else's. So when they track it back, you're the one that's going to be the subject of a search warrant. So what people really need to do is, at the minimum, have a personal firewall. My favorite is ZoneAlarm. That's what I use.
I was going to say, your girlfriend told me last time I talked to Darcy, she says, Kevin Mitnick's my boyfriend. I use 2 firewalls. So you definitely recommend.
She uses the XP firewall and ZoneAlarm, right? And AV software is a no-brainer. Something like Pest Patrol is really good because it will detect a lot of the malicious code out there, a lot of Trojans. You need something that looks for spyware, that looks for Trojans. You need to keep your patches up to date. And one thing that a lot of people don't know about is, turning off services that you really don't need to use.
Right.
And also a lot of hacking attacks happen because of improper configuration. But if people just run a firewall, consumer firewall, and block all the ports, then they have to just be concerned about malicious code, and they could use Pest Patrol. I'm sure there's I think the Trojan Defense Suite, if they still exist, that looks for Trojans, and also behavior, not clicking on attachments. If somebody sends you an attachment, this is your receipt for your eBay order, but you never made an eBay order, don't click it.
Right.
Yeah.
Could launch something that would then install something in the background and things of that nature.
Right. But the good thing about a personal firewall is some of those firewalls actually watch outgoing connections.
Makes sense. Yeah. All good advice. So tell me, what are you working on now? What projects are you working on?
Well, the biggest project right now is I'm working on a new book called The Art of Intrusion, and I'm still looking for the best hacking stories out there. We got a lot of submissions by email. I interviewed a lot of people over the telephone, but we still are looking for the sexy hacks, the innovative, the clever, or either the method of compromise was clever and innovative, or the target was particularly interesting.
It seems like most hackers wouldn't want to give you that information, though. Why do they want to give up their stories? They might be afraid you might turn them in, or...
Well, I think people know that I'm not the type of guy to turn anybody in. I sat in custody for 4.5 years because I wouldn't talk. And what we're offering is we use the story in the book. Well, we'll pay the person $200 for their time, and if it's the best story, we're going to pay them $500.
And what email address they send it to?
Hacks, HACKS, @defensivethinking.com.
Excellent.
Oh, one other thing, you did that Wi-Fi segment?
Yeah.
Did you ever see one of these before, these Kensington devices?
Yes, those are awesome, little Wi-Fi detectors.
Yeah, pretty cool. I was in the Las Vegas Metro Police Department the other day. I wasn't in trouble. I was actually there on business, and I actually clicked it, and they had a wireless network, but it doesn't tell you if it's weapon-enabled or not. So.
You were on business at the police department.
Yeah,
Something
on
about
business.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, well, no, like I said, I wasn't the subject of any wrongdoing. It was actually I had to file a temporary restraining order against somebody, but whatever. Well, there's a lot of stalkers out there. What can I say?
All right, thanks, Kevin. We'll meet up next time I'm in town.
All right, Kevin. Thanks for having me on the show. It's been great.
Thanks so much.
And hi, Patrick, if you're out there.
He's out here somewhere.
All right.
See you later.
Thanks.
Read about his first year after prison and see a previous interview we had with Kevin about how to use social engineering to hack humans. You can do that right now, of course, at thescreensavers.com. Now, stay where you are. Should Brian worry about his repair shop telling the FBI what's on his hard drive? We'll tell him. And up next, 16 years ago, an internet chat room program was written that changed the way people communicate, trade files, pirate software, and even engage in online adult activity. It's still going online, and we're going to show you what it is right after the Screensavers continue.
continuing our trek through the naughtier side of technology. Long before AOL or ICQ, there were internet chat rooms where people shared everything. They hacked passwords for pay sites, they shared pornography, they traded illegal copies of music, movies, and computer software. And, oh, by the way, they just chatted and had conversations and solved security problems and made life easier. It's called IRC. It's still going strong, and it's one of the tools that's used for good and it's used for not so good. Here to give us our first look at the IRC and the screensavers. It's odd that we've never looked at this.
We've never looked at this on the screensavers
You
before.
leapt on this when we talked about it. We've never done IRC on the screensavers.
Not once. You know, I started using IRC, I don't know, 94, 95, something like that. And I got on there because I wanted to go into Star Wars chat rooms and talk about Star Wars stuff for all those stupid little geeks out there. No offense to any of you. I used to be one. I still am
You still
one.
are one.
I'm trying to
You think
my
episode
basis.
1 is a genius high water mark
I never
in
said
cinema?
that. I never said that.
You said close to it.
Let's do this segment.
We digress. MIRC is one. This is your favorite IRC check
My favorite IRC check line is Merck, and it's been around for a long time, and a lot of people use it.
And I can hear some people in the background going, and it hasn't changed much.
That's right. No, it hasn't changed much at all.
This is a classic stripped-down application.
It's been around since 1988. This guy right here, Jarkko Oikarinen, or something like that, I don't know Finnish that well, he is the inventor of this program. And
had long winters to work on it.
And this is before AOL and IRC, I mean ICQ, obviously. The whole idea of this is there are chat rooms that you go in on these servers, and people run the chat rooms, and you have to follow their rules.
Because if you don't, they'll bump you and they'll block you, and you'll never get back into that chat.
Exactly. Now, as far as the IRC goes, it's a bunch of computers linked together, networked together. There are three big ones: FNet, Undernet, and Dalnet. And I like Undernet. This is the one that I use the most.
You just pick the closest server to where you're located
In theory, that's what you do. In theory, that'll give you the best ping time, the best
in reality
connection. I don't know. I've never gone through to test that. I just pick one and connect to it. So I'm connected to one right here, and I'm in a bunch of different rooms right now. I'm in 3 different wares rooms, and as you can see right here, there are almost 34,000 different rooms.
Wow.
Open right now.
So people are probably talking about rugby, and people are talking about network security, and people are solving OS 10 problems.
Yeah, trivia and games and sharing music and sharing movies and all of that stuff goes on. The IRC, one of the things you have to remember about IRC is you are not anonymous. There are some tricks and things you can do to telnet into their servers and try to get in through that way.
Why is it so hard to be, or difficult, if not impossible, to be anonymous on IRC?
Well, it tracks your IP address or your information. So if I were to do let's see, who am I here? Missing my window. It will tell you some information about your ISP, and from that, people they can track it back to you. Now, one thing
funny, every so often I see somebody go like, hey, I've posted a Wares site at FTP.
Right. Exactly. So here in FTP Wares, notice there's a bunch of stuff going on. Let's see. There are people who right here just post. There's an FTP site right there. It has 2 users on it. There's games and movies and all kinds of stuff. And Merck just crashed. Start it up again. So there are a lot of different rooms that you can go in. There's different ways that people trade files. Some people use CTCP, which is a client-to-client protocol specially designed for
So if I know
IRC.
you and you know me,
Right.
I might be like, hey, I just, DivX this movie. You want a copy of it? Sure.
Exactly. Now, the one thing you have to remember also about IRC is it is completely unmonitored. So right now, I'm running this NetNanny program to filter out all the swear words, all of the objectionable content. So parents, if you're out there, remember your kids are open to anything and everything. The worst, most disgusting things you can think of are going to be on here or talked about on here. But there are good uses. This is how
so
people make
different
friends
from,
and hang out and chat. And so there's good and bad.
So basically, this is instant messaging or chat for a little step beyond. This is chat for geeks.
Yes.
This is a classic tool for communications. It is used for some less than.
That's right.
There's reasons people hide things in IRC rooms.
Yes, it's a good tool to use. I recommend anybody to at least get out there and try it and mess around with it. Read the facts, read everything you can about kind of how to behave and commands and things to remember. So
cost?
Yes, cost is free. It's 30 days for free. Then they do ask that you pay for it after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, for links to download Merck and tips for staying safe and secure on IRC, check it out, thescreensavers.com.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the break, Brian's on the line. Bothered about PC repair shops. He's wondering if they might report some nefarious activity about his MP3s to the FBI. We're going to talk to him about this and his paranoia after these messages. Ladies Be sure to get tomorrow's show. Make your home videos look like expensive Hollywood features and burn CDs of all your digital photos without a PC getting in the way. Plus, Sarah shows you how to truly erase your tracks from the internet. That's all coming up on tomorrow's edition of the Screensavers.
Very nice. Brian joins us on the phone from Morgantown, West Virginia. Hey, Brian.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
All right. I've heard reports that the FBI wants computer shops to report copyright violations of, say, movies or MP3s. So I'm a little bit paranoid if I need anything repaired. What I'm looking for is, the stuff that generally should not be taken on at home, what really should be taken to a shop, and what I'd be better off just replacing outright.
We should address this. There's some interesting articles coming out of mostly newspapers in Hawaii, because I think the Oahu office of the FBI was asking local computer repair shops to keep their eyes peeled.
Right.
If they saw anything that was like child pornography, software using the piracy of music and Movix, and threats to national security.
But
yeah, it's like, I don't know about...
If I work at a computer repair shop, I'm going to copy your movies for myself off your hard drive. Those guys aren't really looking to turn people in, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was going to say, and it's like threats to national security. It's a really interesting idea. So saying like, hey, if you see something funny, tell us, right? And then, by the way, tell us the name. Most computer repair shops basically, they don't want to know what's on your computer. They don't want to talk about what's on your computer. They don't want to see the pictures you took on the beach with, your friend, acquaintance, significant others. They want to fix your computer, book the hours, and get it back out so they can get to the next one. The FBI, there's ACLU is kind of fighting over the request from the FBI. They think it's okay if they're looking for specific information on a specific case. But, this is like... I wouldn't sweat it, to be honest with you. Most computer repair shops are just trying to get your system running.
Yeah.
If you're a child pornographer, do me a favor, grab your system, go to the FBI office right now, turn yourself in.
My tip, if you're really worried about it, second hard drive, put all your stuff on there. When you take it into a recording shop, just take it out, and then you can take it into the shop, and you're safe. That goes for anything. Quicken documents, anything that you don't want other people to
I'd worried about credit card numbers or financial information a long time before I'd worried, because the FBI, they got better things to do than learn about your MP3 collection. You know what I mean? The RIA can do a better job of persecuting you on that. Anyhow, good luck, Brian.
Thanks for the call, Brian.
Don't sweat it. Save your stuff and keep it at home if you're really worried about it.
Now it's time to check in with Dan. What you got for us, Foo?
Thank you very much. Gadget lovers, if you like to play with toys, then watch out for our Digital Digs Roadshow. It showcases all the latest and greatest technology on the planet. You also get to meet X-Play's Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler. Adam who? But anyways... If you're in the Pasadena, California area, come on down April 24th and 25th. The event runs from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday and noon to 5 on Sunday. So for more information, go to techtv.com/digitalddigs. But stay where you are. We're not done yet. We're checking our inbox to see what's on your mind when the Screensavers continues.
It's that time, Sarah. You got any emails over there?
I do. The first one comes from Tom. Tom is a big fan of Kevin's shirts. He says, I particularly like the shirt you're wearing today. Where can I get my own?
This is available at jinxgear.com or jinxhackwear.com. Either one works.
Hi, Jinx.
JINXGEAR. There we go. Right. I'm a little out of it because I went to the NVIDIA party last night.
Still a little hurt.
Actually, you can check out, I wanted to tell everyone too, if you wanted to check out the behind-the-scenes NVIDIA party pictures, just head on over to kevinrose.com. I put them up there for everyone to check out.
Does that include the one of Foo and the taxi and the...
Yeah, they're all up there.
Oh! Anyhow, we'll also, like we said, we're going to have the full review of the NVIDIA card when we get the shipping drivers. We're waiting for new cards from ATI. It's going to be interesting.
Exciting stuff.
Any last thoughts on the Dark Side special?
Good special.
Thanks, Sarah, for the email questions.
Yes. You're very welcome.
Thank you for the email questions. That's it for this edition of the Dark Side of Tech special. I'm Kevin Rose.
And I'm Patrick Norton. Thanks for joining us. And we want to thank our guests, Robert Heron and Kevin Mitnick. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
See you next time on the Screensavers.